And let's get started. I think we can all probably agree that gun background checks are not going to prevent criminals from buying guns. But they do make it slightly harder for people who are prohibited from owning weapons from acquiring them. Now, according to the FBI, background checks have stopped 1.3 million people from purchasing a weapon since 1998. So I guess the first question is, why shouldn't we extend existing background checks that are done in gun stores to cover all sales, including private party sales, to make it a little bit harder for people who shouldn't have weapons, like mentally ill people, ex-felons, domestic abusers, from getting weapons?
Well, I support background checks, and I think we've got a very strong background check regime in the state of Nevada today. I support, we led the charge on banning bump stocks, and I absolutely support making sure that we're doing everything we can to get guns out of the hands of the people that should not have them. So it's something that I'm taking very seriously, and as soon as the Parkland shooting happened, I'm a father. I've got 3 little children, and I was very motivated to create a school safety summit where we had law enforcement come from all over the state, as well as our school administrators, and try to come up with some real solutions to try to keep our communities safer. I think we're going to have a lot of very significant solutions to try to do what the big priority of all our parents is try to keep our kids safe and come up with very important measures for that.
And just a quick follow-up both as a father and the state's top law enforcement officer. Are you concerned that there are some gun sales that go on now between private parties that are not subject to a background check? Do you worry about a potential violence springing from those kind of sales?
Well, I think, like you said, the biggest concern are people that get their hands on guns illegally, and putting more restrictions on our law-abiding citizens that follow the rules and are simply expressing their Second Amendment rights. That's something that I think is going to make us safer. Most law enforcement agrees with that, but we are looking at the existing background check system to see if there are gaps in it as it is today, and that's certainly something that we plan on making recommendations on. Okay. And we need to absolutely work on mental health. One of the big takeaways from our summit was that right now law enforcement has to respond to mental health incidents over and over again, and this becomes a revolving door. They feel like they don't have the tools to actually make our communities safer. And there's one sheriff in Nevada that has these mobile mental health teams that partner, that has been incredibly helpful. And when we shared that with the entire state of law enforcement, I think people were very excited about that concept. It's something that I plan on pushing if I'm elected governor.
Thank you.
And you have 1 minute for this question. Is there one or more agencies or departments of state government that you would like to immediately get rid of as governor?
An entire agency? No, that's not on my radar. Look, I'm very proud of my record as Attorney General, being able to find ways to cut my office and make it more efficient. We've been able to find cost savings, return almost $30 million to the taxpayers. So there's always ways to be able to be more efficient, and I'm proud that we were able to actually do more with less. And so certainly we will look to implement similar concept of asking agencies, can you perform this mission more efficiently in a more streamlined manner? That's something we'll certainly look at.
One of Governor Brian Sandoval's signature policies is the Governor's Office of Economic Development, or GOED. That agency has helped create large tax incentives for projects like Tesla's Gigafactory up near Reno. Here's Governor Sandoval talking about that package.
Some of you out there are concerned about the return on our investment. This plan will result in more than $80 of economic impact for every dollar that Nevada invests.
Now, at $1.3 billion, that was the largest tax incentive that the governor's handed out. The state was also ready to give Faraday Future $215 million if that project had not panned out. And in addition, $750 million in room tax money was allocated for the Raider Stadium. So my question is, would you make any changes in Governor Sandoval's policy of giving out tax incentives to induce companies to move here?
So, the governor inherited our state at the bottom. We obviously had one of the biggest booms heading into the recession. We also had one of the biggest busts. So this was the governor's approach to try to diversify our economy, try to jumpstart it, and I'm not going to second guess whether a lot of those decisions were correct or not correct. I think we're at a point in time in the economic development world where we should start focusing a little less on large taxpayer incentives to bring companies in. We're seeing what's happening in California, that businesses are frankly fed up. And I'll be more focused on creating an environment that will attract businesses without having to necessarily do those large incentive packages. I think that we are prime as a state to be what I like to call the most competitive state in the American West. If we keep our taxes low and if we fight to make sure our regulations are as low as possible, we can be the most attractive state in the West, and that'll be a priority for me.
Sorry to interrupt, but real quick follow-up. The Raider Stadium, would that be something you would have signed off on had you been governor at the time?
Well, look, the Raider Stadium, obviously, it's being built down the street. As we know, it's coming. Clark County's issued the bonds, and so the state's on the hook, and obviously we're going forward. That's not something I plan on undoing. But if you're asking whether I would support a professional stadium with taxpayer funding, and as governor of Nevada, that's not something I'd look to do.
Okay, thank you.
Well, the Me Too movement continues to make headlines around the country and here in Nevada. Just in the last year, our state has had several high-profile community leaders and state politicians caught up in sexual harassment scandals. Many of their victims said that they were initially unwilling to come forward because they were afraid for their jobs or afraid for other repercussions. So if elected, what could you do as governor to provide better protections for victims of sexual harassment?
Well, I was raised by a single mom. I have two beautiful little daughters that are 5 and 2, and I certainly want to make sure this is a state where women feel like they can achieve all their dreams just like men, and what we've seen across the country is simply irreprehensible. Typically it's a past generation, and it's hopefully something that future generations just simply are not putting up with. I know it's not something we put up with in our office, and the governor has updated the policies for the state to make sure there's proper avenues to report. We have the same in our office so that a woman always feels safe to report to someone in the chain of the command, which can be a female if they, for some reason, don't want to report to a male. And so it just has to be a priority, and will be a priority if I'm the governor of the state.
And to follow up, and you have 30 seconds to answer this question. Given what you just said, can you address your endorsement from the Story County Sheriff, who has facing multiple accusations, including sexual harassment and sexual assault? Now, given that he has admitted some of those allegations against him in a deposition, will you renounce or reject that endorsement?
So, we're a prosecuting office, and I hope the voters understand that while there's kind of political theatrics going on right now and people demand immediate rejection or endorsement, things like that, this case was referred to my office just a few weeks ago. I have career prosecutors, investigators looking on it, and I've said this before. It's not covered, of course, because they want to use this as a political battering ram. I'm not going to do or say anything until that investigation is complete. And I think if I were to come out and unendorse or endorse at this stage of the game, it would either predict or prejudge the investigation.
There was an investigation, though, and according to that, it said, it is our opinion that a reasonable person could have concluded that the text messages sent by the sheriff were meant to be suggestive comments or requests, demands, or pressure for sexual favors. So given that information, that investigation has already been concluded, do you still accept his endorsement, or would you reject that endorsement?
What I said still stands. I don't want to say anything about this until my office has concluded its investigation. It will conclude its investigation, it'll move forward or not move forward. In that point in time, I can address this political side, whether I'm going to accept an endorsement or not endorsement, but I believe it's proper to wait until our office has completed its review.
So it still stands for now. Okay, thank you.
Let's talk about education funding. It's along with GO-ED, education reforms are part of Governor Sandoval's legacy. He funded full-day kindergarten for all schools, new programs like Zoom schools and Victory schools through the Commerce Tax, which raised an additional $400 million for those types of programs every couple of years. Here's what some of the candidates, including yourself, have had to say about that Commerce Tax.
I'm committed to keeping public education funding the way it is, and certainly if we have increased revenues, it's something I'll look to expand.
I want to repeal the commerce tax, and the reason is very simple. We voted against it 4-1.
As a state, we must place education at the top of our priority lists. We simply can't keep doing the same thing over and over again and expect different results.
Now, you've said you want to keep the reforms that Sandoval passed in place. So how can you do that given that you want to repeal the commerce tax?
So, as you know, Steve, the commerce tax doesn't directly go to education. It's general fund revenue. I'm very confident that we can replace that funding if necessary. You know, let's not forget how small percentage it is of our revenue. It's 2.3% of the general fund spending, less than 1% of our overall spending. And so what we saw in 2017, we saw a lot of increased revenues to the state. There's no reason to think with what's going on in Las Vegas and frankly all across Nevada that is going to slow down, and so we'll have increased revenues. We have a marijuana tax that we know there's this additional. First, the projections have been higher than we expected on the base 15%, and we have the new 10%. And so we've got those areas along with what we talked about at the beginning of the interview, which is I know we can find some more efficiencies in government. So again, we're talking 2.3%. I feel very confident that we can replace it. The bottom line is I do pledge to keep education funding where it is. If we have more surplus, education is a big priority, and I'll look to try to find ways to increase our education spending.
Okay.
Well, here at Channel 8, the I-Team has extensively reported on what is being termed the opioid crisis. The crackdown on prescription opioids has created a problem. Legitimate pain patients who are unable to get their medication or who have to go through additional hurdles to do so. Take a listen. This is how one doctor described the fallout from the state's new rules.
There are at least hundreds, perhaps thousands of patients whose doctor has said, I'm sorry, I can't prescribe opiates anymore. You're going to have to find someone else. And there just isn't anybody.
And I know that you've been on the forefront of this as well. Has this crackdown gone too far? And what can you do as governor to balance the fight against addiction with relief for people who actually need it?
So, you know, Nevada does face an opioid crisis, as well as fentanyl and a number of other things that we're seeing across the country. And so, you know, we've taken this on from the Attorney General's office to try to find ways that we can help this. We created a program that we got passed with bipartisan support from the legislature that did. First, we embedded an AG investigator with the first FBI AG task force to be able to go after dirty doctors. We found funding for prevention, partnering with boys and girls clubs across the state. We've also been distributing naloxone, which is a life-saving drug, to our law enforcement. And we've also bought incinerators so that we can burn these pills locally and get them off the street. So I'm proud of these efforts, as well as the most recent announcement of the lawsuit against Purdue Pharma. I do hear some of these concerns. The governor's done a great job trying to combat this, and he had bipartisan support from the legislature. If that needs to be tinkered with in a future session, and perhaps it went too far, it's something I'm willing to look at.
Well, we know under the property clause, the federal government can own land in Nevada, and right now, about 84.9% of the state is owned or controlled by the federal government. That's the green on this map here. Republicans in Nevada repeatedly pushed for some of this land to be turned over to the state. So my question is, can you give us a percentage? How much of that land do you think should be in the hands of the state of Nevada? And how would the state cover the costs of management of that land, including firefighting costs and other costs?
Sure. You know, when you see the map like that of 85% owned by the federal government, we can see why we are a particular target when federal government is making decisions for our citizens 3,000 miles away. It's something I'm proud of fighting against the last many years, trying to protect our water, trying to protect our land from sage grouse and other things. As to what that ratio looks like, you know, we need to take an incremental approach so that places like Las Vegas can grow. I mean, that's a big complaint here right now, is that we're growing and needs to find ways to expand. The same thing is happening in communities all across our state. So, you know, the President and the Secretary of Interior are not for turning all of our lands over. That's simply off the table. But I do think that with the proper plan, where we get all the stakeholders together, we can present to them, can you give us, whether it's a checkerboard around our towns and cities and metro areas that allow us for that kind of a growth. That's something I will look to do. As far as funding, if we do it that way, we certainly will be able to pay for that with the increased tax revenue, and just make sure we do it a smart way and an incremental way.
Okay, thank you.
What is often called the Energy Choice Initiative. It's going to be question 3 on the November ballot. It would prohibit monopolies for providing electric service, effectively opening up the market to companies other than NV Energy. So do you oppose or support this initiative, and why?
I supported the ballot initiative when it was on last year, and I support it this year as well.
Anything else to add to that? Is there a specific reason why?
Not particularly, no. I mean, I think that I hope choice will make our state more dynamic and give people more options. I do sit on the Governor's Energy Choice Committee, and we've been able to sort of hear all of the input. It is going to be challenging. It's going to be a complicated process for our state, but we have been able to see what some states have done well and what some states have not. And so, if it passes, of course, we need to support that as a state, and we're going to have to come together and get the stakeholders at one table and figure out how to do that. That's something I've been able to do as the Attorney General, the power to convene and get everyone together. We were able to create our first ever military legal assistance program by getting people from all over the state to sign on to a program. We've done it from a law enforcement perspective, where for the first time ever, I convened a statewide law enforcement summit. It's every sheriff, district attorney, and police chief in the state. We've been meeting a couple times a year to always find solutions for our state, and that's something I'm confident that I'll be able to do as the governor of this great state.
Well, speaking of criminal justice, back in 2017, there was a case involving a man named Frederick Steese that came in front of the Pardons Board. As Attorney General, you sit on the Pardons Board. You were the only member of the Pardons Board to vote against a pardon for Steese, even though a judge had declared that he was actually innocent of the crime that he'd been accused of. Here's what happened at that hearing.
Governor, am I able to abstain on a vote?
I don't know if we've ever had an abstention. In absence of a conflict, I think not.
Okay, well, no.
So, did you vote no?
Yes.
So yes, you voted no. I just want to be clear.
Not only sit on the Pardons Board, but your vote is going to be required in order to grant a pardon to any ex-felon who's come before the board seeking a pardon. So I guess my question is, what criteria would you use to decide who does and does not deserve to get a pardon from that board?
So the criteria I use now as a member of the Pardons Committee is, first and foremost, I look at what the local district attorney feels about the case. These are the career prosecutors that have been living and breathing a case, sometimes in the situation of Fred Steese, for 20 years. Fred Steese was a convicted murderer, and he walked into that Pardons Board as a murderer. And so that particular district attorney, Steve Wilson, Democrat from Clark County, that's never been accused of overzealous prosecution, they said, this is a farce. And so for me, you have a DA that's saying this is a farce. That matters a lot. We look to what a prior conviction history is. Is this a single time, or is this a habitual criminal? In the case of Fred Steese, he had 6 major felony convictions. He's been in and out of prison his entire life. One of the other criteria he uses, what kind of prisoners are they when they're in? Some make huge turns and they're model citizens. They help other people. He had a number of major incidents while he was in prison. So, for me, this simply wasn't a tough call.
Let me follow up on what you said. You mentioned the role the district attorney had in recommending against a pardon, and certainly he did.
Sure.
But there were some factual errors in the letter that the district attorney sent regarding the case, regarding the procedural history of the case. And so How will you determine, you know, as governor, when you're sitting on that, you're looking at the evidence, how will you determine, you know, what is good information and bad information when you're making what's going to be a life-changing decision for somebody?
You know, like I said, the same way we do it now. We get a file, we review it, we have the information in front of us, and you know, it's something I'll take very seriously. For me, you know, my biggest priority will be to keep the community safe, and certainly people are going to have different thresholds on when they feel that a crime is one that is something that they want to pardon. For me, and it is a Supreme Court case, these are reserved for cases of lesser gravity. This is supposed to be exceptional circumstances in cases of lesser gravity, and so, you know, my threshold will be pretty high. You know, I don't want to, after the fact, overrule prosecutors, the entire system. You know, we don't have cases where the system has, you know, unfairly prosecuted. People would assume maybe we've got tons and tons of those cases. That's not what we see. We see people that come back after X number of years and they want their record clean. And so, you know, I'm always going to err on the side of public safety.
Okay, thank you.
Now you have 30 seconds for your closing statement to the voters.
Great. Well, you know, my wife Jamie and I have two amazing little girls, Sophia and Isabella, and I have a newborn baby boy, Jack. This is what motivates me. I think Nevada's an exceptional place, and many generations have been able to achieve their dreams and have great success in this state. I'm committed to keeping that dream alive for our great state and trying to make sure we improve our education, we make sure our communities are safe, and look for better jobs for tomorrow. And, you know, I'm asking your listeners for their vote in this primary on June 12th.
Thank you.
Thank you. Appreciate it.